Recording. Why am I recording? Here's a look outside. You can see it's a little breezy. And it's 40 degrees, which I consider fair. 40 degrees F. There's a cow back here. And a pretty nice day. Pretty nice and fluffy clouds. It snowed last night. And anything warmer than freezing, I consider fair. 40 is fair. The door is open right now. The screen door. Chi-Chi is looking at me. That's good. And what am I doing? I don't know. I could go out here and move some of this junk. Maybe work on this broken generator. It's cold out there. It's cold in here too. And I've decided to look at these pictures. What are these pictures of? The Civil W. The Civil W with brick streets, big apartment buildings full of windows, beautiful stairs leading up into buildings that are gone, just gone. Charleston, South Carolina. Old South Carolina. Look at these pavers. So pristine, so abandoned. Little trees growing, young trees. So what happened in the Civil W? Of course I don't know. How can something be known in the past? I don't know. These photos are all we have. Photos, a little glimpse into the 1860s. And what do we know? Or what are we told? Let's start with that. We're told two sides of America developed. The North and the South. Super primitive outhouse using horse and carriage as transportation. Cannonball, and of course cannon, was the greatest and most dangerous weapon in the realm, we are told. Really heavy and cumbersome. How to even make a cannon in this time period is another question. Just forging it, especially some of the cannons that we see. So whatever, let's just imagine they're schlepping cannons around by horse, packing balls in one by one, shooting a ball here, shooting a ball there, and this is the result of clumsy steel balls? And it begs the question, what kind of world was it? Let's just imagine the world that it was. The world based on the ruins. Balls or no balls? So I don't know. We're just warming up. I'm not even fully committed. And yet, I'm pretty intrigued. Let's have a little look. I thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless and welcome. The solution to your problem. The solution will take you 5 times as long as you wish it would. Maybe 10 if you get a late start. It's just how it is. And even worse. Oh my God, it could be worse. The solution you will find is ultimately not the solution. Though you'll be happy you did what you did. But it won't be the solution. Not if it's external. We think external things will be the solution. It's just the way we're raised, just the world we live in. And nothing could be further from the truth. The solution is more realistically found within. I mean, if you thought you would achieve or receive this or that, it was just so you would have peace. Imagine any job or business that you've pursued, and a year or 2 or 5 into it, you began to question if this was really it. But yet before it was it, you were certain it was it. This would solve everything. And so really just assuming peace, no matter what your situation, would be the best course of action. Things will change, and that's fine. Everything changes. And it's like a movie. What if you didn't want your favorite part of the movie to end, and you just watched the movie, the same part, over and over. What is this, John? What the hell is going on here? I thought we were going to talk about the Civil War. I don't know. It's all the same. This actually looks like the ruins of the Civil War. These people look just as clueless as the 1850s Southern inhabitants around the time period of the Civil War. We may as well just look at this. Well, what is this? I don't know. Let's play a little game. Why don't we? Where are we? And what is this? Here it looks like concrete, cement, brick, and then what? And then what? What is it turning into? And I think this harkens back to the Civil War. I mean, they're not going to tell us that. They are not going to tell us this has anything to do with the Civil War. We're far from the Civil War. We are in the Americas. I'll give you a clue. Somewhere in the Americas. And again, what is this? I mean, we have brick, we have facading that's peeled off, and then we have this fusion into this mountainous, cooked. I mean, what can I say about this? Describe this for me. I say cooked for lack of a better word. I'm really fond of marshmallows over a fire, although I seldom eat them. And I just burn the piss out of them. Char the outside, like this. It's all nice and soft on the inside. And yet not too cooked. Almost. Looks like this almost returned to what some would call mountain. I don't know. It's like there was more to it. This kind of arched way is now gone. Just scraped, grass planted. Very nice tourist attraction today. Super great here in the Americas. Very Romanesque. This portal up here, unbelievable. It looks like at least 4 feet thick. 4-foot walls. There you go. Mine are about 6 inches. And this fusion here, this almost returning to mountain. I believe they tell us this was an earthquake, but really resembling the ruins of the Civil War. Were these Civil War ruins really ruined in the Civil War? Was this really ruined by an earthquake? And in the Americas? Looking so old already? I mean, looking 1,000 years old. Easy. And who builds walls 4+ feet thick? And how do they end up here on the ground? Crooked? Super aged. Moss growing on them. Trees. So, enough beating around the bush. We are in Guatemala. That's right, Guatemala. In my youth, I bought a hacky sack beanbag from Guatemala. And what was really going on in Guatemala? These are like Roman ruins in Guatemala. No Civil War story. What is the story? Let's have a look at the story. Pause. Okay, let's read. The La Recolección Architectural Complex. It is the western part of the old city. Okay. History. 1685. So older than the Civil War. Older than the history of North America, mostly. 2 missionaries arrived. Here we go. Missionaries. The city council was asked for permission to build a monastery. What city council in 1685 Guatemala? Are you kidding me? Like we just have city council and meetings in Guatemala? And the city council rejected them. They said there weren't enough monks to support a monastery. Nonetheless, a royal decree in 1700 was issued. Oh shit, big boys coming in. In 1701, construction of buildings commenced. 6 years later, in 1700, they began building a church. It was complete in 1717. Sounds like great news, right? Wrong. A few months later, it was affected by the 1717 earthquake, totally destroying it. As they do, They quickly rebuilt it, and it was ready for 35 monks or friars. Again, the complex was hit by earthquakes in 1751 and in 1773. The church lost its walls and most of it was rendered useless. Throughout the years, man-made destruction further demolished the complex, as remnants were used as a stable, a soap factory, and a sports complex. Materials were also removed for outside construction. There we go. So all that amazingness that we were looking at is just the ruins of an old monastery, we're told. And okay, that is just stupid. That was the stupidest story ever. What else do we have? We have the rest of the realm. Let me show you this. So what happens here? What happened to this realm? Now, of course, the mainstream will tell us they built on top, but really a fine line where these rocks began and bricks and blocks. And how could you achieve this? What in the hell is going on? We see this underground passageway. At times it's revealed and then it disappears again. And it exists realm-wide. We can conclude that it's all connected. And we who appreciate the research that tries to answer these questions eventually find ourselves looking at a circuit board. And you know, when I'm looking at these cities from above, it's pretty clear that they're arranged like circuit boards. Our streets, the buildings, the way everything is laid out. Here we see a giant building, a stadium, a Capitol building, a water feature, pyramids. This theory proposes that if we could imagine, and it's not too hard, that everything was connected and laid out for a greater purpose, similar to a circuit board as we see here, then there also exists the possibility that the thing could have an overload. And essentially these are metals, various different kinds of metals, and it's not too different with our realm. I mean, everything is made of the same things. Silica, which is sand, silver, gold. And again, this would make no sense if you think everything is just stupid. I mean, everything was just laid out and there's no greater purpose. But again, when you look at the layout of cities, there's an intelligent configuration that really resembles this circuitry. And when you go back to the Civil War and you see an entire cooked out city that really the people A shouldn't be able to build and B shouldn't be able to destroy. And yet this makes so much more sense than the stupid stories that were given. That these cities were super advanced in a time before we're told they should be. Had technology, air travel, power, all the things we enjoy today, and more. And ultimately something happened, either something from within or something from without. Something that completely overloaded this circuit board, which happens to be our entire realm. Now, as you can see here, everything isn't hit at once or even at all. Parts absorb the excess heat and energy, and other parts fare well. And that's exactly what we see in our realm. We've discussed in the past how bricks can also act as batteries. And once again, everything is conductive to some extent. And this is the only thing that really makes sense. This electrical discharge that didn't just rock one part, but rather all parts of the realm. Such a fierce heat that nothing grows, at least in this area, and where I live too. Very little vegetation, very little life in the soil, lending to this circuit board idea that the heat and the electricity moved from within, from under. And it makes sense if you laid out all these cities in this fashion, and we learn that you have entire tunnel systems below them that would lend to this essentially short-circuiting of the realm. And to add to this, at the beginning of every city, What we're told throughout history is we suffered great fires. The Great Fire of this, the Great Fire of that. Chicago, even San Francisco, burned several times. Sometimes we're told a cow knocks over a candle. Sometimes we're told it's an earthquake. And yet every city, does it make sense? Could everybody be so unfortunate and yet everything be random and disconnected? Or does it make more sense that this event happened realm-wide and they need an explanation for what happened, doing everything they can to avoid the truth? Anything. A cow knocking over a candle is better than a realm-wide reset. The evidence, in my opinion, seems overwhelming. Let's take a pause. Okay, where are we? We are on the southern coast of the Mediterranean. Now look how cooked out this area is. I mean, we look at old maps and it was lush and full of cities. Didn't have the impression of being so cooked. Now I think every place was rocked, but maybe this was a strong focal point. And I could focus on anything, but I seldom focus on this place. What is this place? Looks like there was once a city here. Do you see it? We really can't see it. It was once great, really great, and almost completely gone now. One day, when real estate values permit, they'll build houses all around here. And for now, it is available to check out. Perhaps it's coming into focus now. You can see it everywhere. The most mind-blowing ruins scattered around. So much cooler than it looks from above. And thank God that they've preserved all of this, at least for now. And we find this all over the entire coast of the Mediterranean in ruins. It would be really interesting, actually, to assign a numeric value to the population of the ruins. And this place is called Leptis Magna. And the ruins of this city are just scattered for miles and miles. And they're starting to plant over everything, but it's still an underdeveloped country. Libya. Really massive country. Nothing going on. Here I have some pins in Libya. I wrote Libya Braille. Looks like they've erased it now. Maybe we can go back in time. I think they've gotten rid of it. I hesitate in placing pins for that very reason. Tipping them off. No doubt there was something cool. Maybe it was kind of like this. This looks like Braille. If you don't know, Braille is a type of written language for the blind. Here's some more Braille. Here I have another point in Libya. Looks like a cooked out area. Really not sure. A lake. So out here, no different than how we started the video. I mean, like identical ruins. These same walls, 5 foot thick. Here we see some of their statues with the noses broken off. Pretty incredible. The blocks, the bricks, the amount, the ruins. Like, how is everything just heaped over like this? These materials should withstand anything for thousands of years. And the ruins themselves are holding up beautifully. But what happened here? And I think it goes back to the circuit board that I was showing. This is the result of a cooked circuit board. These are components. And I think they serve more than just components in the circuit board. I think they were absolutely functional for people on many levels, both on the surface and whatever was going on underground. It's no different, you must understand, today. We lay out our cities and we run a lot of the infrastructure underground, underneath the cities. Sewage, sometimes electricity, gas. All these things are very volatile, even in our cities. We've seen examples of neighborhoods just going up all at once. We were told they were ruptured gas lines, And when it comes to this older reset, I mean, here, the ruins of serious people here. Serious. Just look at that building in the background here. This one. This thing is enormous. And in this condition, where's all the material? It seems to have been sucked up in a way. Or melted down. This is one of my favorites. A little random portal. Again, holding up great. I mean, what knocked everything over? And why did this one fare so well? Look at the streets. Pavers. Paved streets still. Meanwhile, in North America, they're living like cowboys and using outhouses. And here in Africa, this is Africa? Again, completely backwards. I mean, they paint this picture of Africa. They sell the picture of Africa. And this isn't what they're selling. This is next level city ruins. So I don't know. I do and I don't. Let me know your thoughts. I thank you for joining me today. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.